When I first saw LLR Vargas, I was excited. He was favored by many as the favorite SR tank, especially when the game was new, but Zlong Games decided to make a new version and make him so broken that it makes him unbalanced. And I'm talking about Ilya level unbalance. And what amazes me is that right after 2 months when Ilya came out, the new Vargas shows up. And I'm not sure how I really feel about it. But let's get back into Vargas. So the new Vargas, or as many people will know him as Dragonslayer, he's part of the Empire Dark Elis faction who is physical that can be demon or flyer class, and unlocking them opens both of his bond. His talent lets him reverse class advantage, so he turns his weakness into an advantage and takes less damage. When any ally within 3 blocks dies, he gets rage that gives him a revive and lets him restore HP beforehand, and reduces the turn duration of rage, and his HP is reduced. When the enemy ends their turn within 3 blocks, they are automatically attacked by him and can't be guarded, which all lasts 2 turns. If his HP is higher, then he attacks first while healing 30% of damage dealt. By the way guys, if you don't get it, he gets multiple revives. And you know what the craziest part is? He has skills that helps him enable that. And summons contributes to that as well. And you get punished for staying near him, and is very self-sufficient with crazy stats. But it doesn't end just right there yet. His 1C passive has a revive that boosts his stats, which gives him rage, but if he has it, then he gets to act again. 2C passive lets him guard 1 block, has less chance of being critted, and has displacement immunity. Using this lets him counterattack 2 blocks, and has 20% defense to attack, and guard range increases to 2, but it will be 3 when he has rage. Then finally with his 3C, select the tile which grants him rage and enters Dragon Rage from the next round. The skill then changes to Devil's Flame Field. First though, this form lets him do more damage, doesn't lose buff duration, and teleports to the location he selected to deal AoE damage, which this effect will trigger immediately if he already has rage. Afterward, the mobility that he has is equal to whatever remaining mobility. Into his second part of the 3C, it has a passive that converts fixed damage into healing, and the cooldown of all damage skills after battle is reduced by 1. It has a command effect where enemies within 3 blocks cannot get the dispel effect, and leaving the command range costs additional mobility. This is a single target skill where before battle, all equipped enemies will be disabled, but in PvE, it lowers all stats for 2 turns. After battle, it's the info of their equipment up to 2 of them, but in PvE, his stats are increased instead for 2 turns. I want to be real here and say that because of this man, I kinda stopped watching Apex Arena entirely. Who was the madman that designed him? They know what they're doing. Look how unbalanced he is. What really sells him out is that he is literally a damage sponge. No matter what you do, he is very, very difficult to get rid of. Not only does he have a lot of damage res, especially with the last ride since he can't take any form of fixed damage, but his revives can be obtained over and over again. Along with being able to sustain himself, being an attacker too, they literally threw everything into him. It's absurd character design. Not to mention that you're being punished for staying near him, so any at the game characters, you gotta be careful with what you're doing. And if you get yourself in the end game with them, like with the gas closing in PvP, and you're trying to save your healers or something, I don't know what to tell you. He is the ultimate character in this game, and everything is gonna be centered around him. Just having him around just makes things so much more easier for you. He's an all-rounder with great builds too, so it won't be that hard to find what you're looking for. For those who don't PvP won't maybe understand, but I'm losing my mind when talking about him. So with Dragonslayer finally making his debut, it's honestly the last straw for me, because the power creep is way too much. Barely getting any breaks between this and that broken characters lately, and these broken characters lately just doesn't make it any easier to wind down. It's just how I really feel about the current state of Langrisser, specifically on the PvP side. I think PvE is on a great term right now. The characters are still pretty dumb, Ilya is just, brain dead, and Vargas the same thing too. But Ilya is way more brain dead than he is. The new Vargas, you actually have to do something, but it's still dummy broken. I'm not sure about some of you guys if you agree with me with how the current state of Langrisser is right now. Like, there are times where I do have fun with it, but if we're talking about like PvP, it is kind of ridiculous. Maybe if you're in gold at least. Like, maybe bronze, silver, you won't have to deal with what I'm talking about as much. But I do see that some people say that they still quite enjoy it. I may question their insanity, but to each their own, you know? I can respect their opinion. So yeah, if you guys are wondering, obviously 100% yeah, he is a must summon. Me, myself personally, I'm a summon for him, but I won't ever be using him. I despise his gameplay. I just don't like using broken characters like that. You know, I prefer someone that I could use and have fun with. I forgot to mention this, but when Vargas attacks with his 3C, he's able to steal equipment, not just like reveal them. So imagine, just imagine, like Vargas with last right and having something like, you know, forbidden battle armor. You know how dummy broken that sounds? As if he wasn't unbalanced already. Like, I think it's a nice concept that he has. It's very unique. You know, there are some stuff that he has that I really like, but dude is broken. And how do you counter him? Well, I'm glad you asked. One, obviously, is have revive disable. The second option I have for you guys may not believe it. Use Xeon. And I'm not even joking about that, I'm being serious. Xeon has a thing where if he kills the enemy, he has the option to unalive them or put them to sleep. Doesn't matter if they have revive or not. So this will halt Dragonslayer. And the nice part about Xeon is that he is a very hard hitter. So that way, you can take out like literally anyone else, or maybe have your other teammates do a follow-up to whittle Vargas down. Vargas is someone that is very hard to interact with. He'll hurt you more than you hurt him. This was something that I was saying for a while, so I'm giving you guys a stat right now. I don't know if anyone else is doing this, but hey, if I'm the first one to say it, then you can thank me. There'll be an exclusive equipment for Seraphina. When passing through enemies, she applies debuffs. She applies a strong debuff to enemies she hits that even includes fixed damage. Seraphina does have to put in effort with how her mechanic works, and debuffs was an issue for her, so she had to rely on allies to help her do that. So it is quite a big change if you still care about her. For new casting skills coming up starts with Lana. She gets more range and gains buffs equivalent to the enemies she hits. Range is nice, the buff part is quite niche. Second is Ainz, where his buffs all last an extra turn, which is really underwhelming if you ask me. Third being Julian, where any enemies who isn't at full HP, he does fixed damage before battle. With the way how Julian works, he's already a strong hitter to begin with, so having this is a very strong kill confirm. Last is Sophia, where she can dispel more debuffs, which is great. As for the banners that we can expect, in the second week, there's a raid up for Aurelia and Precia, a raid up for Isolda on the third week, a strong DPS who is a mid faction buffer, Julian and a Destiny banner as well to unlock Tyrant's Bond. As for the content, a share event for a free weapon that's not bad on Dragonslayer, double gated fades, a farmable event to accumulate points for rewards, added content for the Odyssey game mode and the territory, others such as a share event to get some crystals to promote Dragonslayer, and of course, the extra boost that shows up every month, which I will stop mentioning. Not sure if I already said that in the last one, but you guys can expect these to happen every once a month, so it's nothing new. As for the skins, the Echo of Light for Dragonslayer and the Werewolf skin. His original design already looks great, but I think they totally nailed it with the Echo Light version. White Day for Ymir along with the other reruns. I personally find this skin really nice. You know, when I saw the difference between his Echo Light and his original design, I was kind of bummed out with how much of a difference it is, but with this one being more of a free-to-play option, I think it's great because this design looks very great on him. Then we got a martial artist skin for Seraphina. Alright, so that was about everything, if not most everything that Global can expect in this update. As always, expect some changes here and there, since Global likes to do their own thing compared to CN. You know, some of them are very obvious when it comes to the months and stuff. But besides that, the thing about Dragonslayer is that I understand why some people may be excited for him, but that's exactly my issue with him. The power creep in this game is so surreal that I do find it hard to watch anymore. My favorite thing about Langrisser, you can use just about anyone and they can perform well. You know, as long as there is synergy with the rest of your team and you have great fundamentals. But the characters we've been getting these past few months, they make it feel almost impossible to compete with how absurd they've been. I don't know how many times I have to reiterate this, but this is just my opinion. And whether or not you guys agree with me or you actually enjoy how the meta is, you know, I can respect it. But with what we have to deal with, it kind of just makes me hard to enjoy it. So, you know, the stuff I do, like I could care less. So I've been just doing my own thing to try to have fun in this game. I kind of stopped caring about like being good in this game and the ranking stuff like that. You know, I stopped caring about that stuff like a while ago. But I would say like only like just about 4 months ago is where I really stopped just caring about all that. So I'm gonna cut it right there and let you guys all in on what we're getting in the next few months. The update after this one, we're getting one character who is a straight up counter against Ilya, who pretty much is almost like working in a way with how her mechanic works. One character that I'm kind of really excited for since I feel like that she'll be quite healthy in the meta. Then the one after that is a collab with Dead or Alive, then 6.5 anniversary. And that's all I really got to say. If you guys did enjoy this video, feel free to like, subscribe, want to see more, and feel free to let me know down in the comments how you guys feel about this update. Do you guys agree with what I have to say about the current state of Langrisser? Or maybe you guys disagree and want to put your opinion on the matter. You can have your own criticism, but don't be disrespectful with it. So yeah, thanks for watching, your fellow